So let's look at Risk It, who is one of Steve Asmussen's Derby hopefuls. And you can see he's owned by Winchell Thoroughbreds. That's a routine. Steve Asmussen has Derby contenders in from them every year. Midnight Bourbon, Epicenter. The list goes on and on. Echo Zulu, just to name a couple, although Echo Zulu is a filly. But Gunrunner, so pretty obvious contender from that perspective. Two turns shouldn't be a problem. We'll look at the pedigree. And you see, he got a pretty solid dosage profile. 2.0 is just right for two turns. Genetic strength value score is pretty good. Look at the conduit mare profile, and it's really more attuned more to stamina. So Risk It's been running at shorter races up until the Jockey Club last week. So the longer the distance is, the better it probably is going to be for him. And as we know with gun runners, they do get better as they get older. So pedigree, I think he checks the boxes. He's okay. We'll look at the running lines, and this is prior to the Jockey Club, but we can see that one is made pretty impressively, and I have to say the Iroquois was a little bit of a disappointment. It was a one-turn mile, and there was obviously quite a bit of pace on the front end, so maybe we can give him a little bit of an excuse out of that one. But West Saratoga, I don't consider to be a real prime Derby prospect. Probably benefited more from the pace. Risk It was up close to it most of the time, so it's excusable that he might not have a whole lot left. But we look a little further, and we'll see in the Kentucky Jockey Club, which we're going to look at in a second, really wasn't any pace involved in that, but Risk It was pretty rank on the backstretch, and he seemed to be a real handful. So that obviously would have something to do with not having a whole lot in the stretch. He still ran what I consider to be a credible fourth, but let's take a look at the race and get a little bit of picture of it.
They're in the gate.
You see Risk It's in the 7 hole, gets away pretty well. Pretty keen right from the get-go to get up on the lead.
Nomos and Risk It and one red cent on the far outside. A charge of horses into that first turn, almost down inside.
You see, he got carried wide. That's another thing. He was pretty wide throughout the race. But really, right about here, he kind of starts pulling a little bit.
The pace from fourth to ahead of Real Men Violin, who's racing in fifth. Awesome Road comes out in sixth. Dancing Groom wide while seventh.
And while you do have three on the front end, they really weren't going at a real big clip there. It was a pretty moderate pace. So that's a little, but you see Risk It just tugging away. And Gaffleone, I think, was trying to get him back, and he did catch a lot of traffic. So didn't have an ideal race for sure.
Up into fifth. Awesome Road, meanwhile, made some progress and joins the fray on the far outside fourth. Farther back in the field, Dancing Groom, and at the back is Anna Marie as they round the far turn. Nomos still feeling.
Be honest, I can't see what people are seeing in Awesome Road right now. I just it's two races in a row. I haven't seen him be that impressive to me. But you see Risk It's just rating off the leaders, trying to find getting gear, and he's got to make another wide move.
It's wide open, top of the stretch. Stretch stride, trying to hang tough. Here's Anna Marie.
And that traffic probably took a little bit out of him. Follows the same path as Anna Marie, just not enough horse. So kind of a mixed results effort, I would say, in the Jockey Club. I think he ran pretty well, and we'll just have to see how he progresses as he moves forward.
Violin was second, Stretch Ride was third, Risk It was fourth, and Awesome Road checks in fifth.
So we'll take a look at the report card. And pedigree-wise, I don't think Gunrunner obviously puts him right up and as a horse that should handle two turns no problem. I'll give him a B+. Not quite as, if I saw a stakes winner underneath of the mare, he'd be probably an A- or an A. But he definitely fits pedigree-wise. Class-wise, I'm going to give him a B. He hasn't run against the very top 2-year-olds. He's been running races just a cut below, and he's acquitted himself pretty well. And you'd have to say he's had some excuses in the Iroquois as well as the Kentucky Jockey Club. So I'm not ready to throw him out yet, but he is definitely going to have to get better. Progression-wise, we'll give him a C plus because he hasn't run badly. It just seems like he's his own worst enemy, it looks like, in that last race. I don't know what happened there. I think maybe there were some instructions to hold him back, whereas if he had been up near the pace, he might have had a little better shot. I don't know. I'm not going to try to second-guess Steve Asmussen or Tyler Gaffleone, but I think he's still capable of better, I believe, but we're going to have to see it for sure. So prospect, I'm going to label him a C right now, and because he can kind of go either way. I think he probably, there's more in the tank and can get better, but as far as what I've seen on the track so far, I'd have to rate him a cut below some of the better 2-year-olds. But a lot of things can happen over the winter, so we'll just have to see.